Successive penalties have them looking now at a 1st and 20. Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Escaping the pressure right.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the 1st. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the 1st quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Play fake. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Athleticism on display there by Derek Barnett to come up and get him.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson.
And the Vikings have taken the lead. The quarterback stayed in the pocket. He got licked for it, but it paid off. Touchdown.
Talk about a true strength throw. People wrapped around him, taking a hit, and still has the ability to get it downfield for a touchdown pass. Phenomenal.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Cousins will try and throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They go play action. Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
We dominate.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
This is Smith with a grab.
And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down, but a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there. And he's going to go down here as sacked. They push him back to the 34.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly, meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them? They were on him in a hurry. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Quick slant here to Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right.
And quickly finding Rager. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. And that is caught, but the bank judge right there to say incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. On the return, Boston Scott. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the 1st half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Looking here for Smith downfield.
And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll fire it deep for Rager. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Following the interception, Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
Complete. Jefferson to target.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
First down. Here's Cousins.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Cousins again. He's got Smith here. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
A first down throw for Cousins.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Cousins now from the 50, staying on his feet.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man, once again, it's Thielen. And brought down, but not before they're inside.
They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Come on, let's go.
Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Cousins.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here's Scott to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw.
And they'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Flushed out right.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. With 3rd down coming up.
He'll look to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the first. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. Joseph now to have the PAT.
Fake it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run there, put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And here's Scott to return it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Hurts fumbles it.
And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Cousins here to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Cousins got some real estate inside the 30. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins, he's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyler Conklin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Joseph on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here's Scott to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Throwing here, Cousins.
And a 3rd interception thrown by Cousins.
Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
He'll fire it deep for Rager.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts looking here for Smith downfield.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one are thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. I took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.